All right, let's take a look at what we got here, man. So this is a Platinum ZvP. No GLHF, just U2. Hey. Okay, so we try and go for the 16 hatch, but it's submarine. I hate this map. I hate this map. I hate this map. And he can still block you. So we take our third. This is a fine third. I still prefer taking this one. I know a lot of pros like saying taking this one. Against Protoss is not that big of a deal. I still hate taking this one as a third versus Terran because they can just drop you, drop you, drop you, drop you, drop you, drop you. I like this one because we get the creep spread out further this way. We can get the creep spread out this way. It's not that big of a deal. We take our third as our natural. It happens to every Zerg player, my man. No big deal. So I'm digging the fact that we kept our Overlord here to see if there's any pylon shenanigans going down. I really like that we stuck around a little bit, even though we know we've already been hatch blocked and we're taking our third. Because if they're going to do some proxy shenanigans, there's going to be a second probe, and we might get cannon rushed over here, but this is really the area we want to protect. So we get to see a little bit here, and then we move over, and then we just make sure there's no pylon shenanigans going on over here. So everything's good. I'm digging this, man. So what do we have vision of? Cybercore, gateway. So this is a standard gateway expand. We can see that just from the get-go. Now, Cybercore is about halfway done. Nexus is about halfway done. Like, there's nothing to be alarmed at about this. So we're happy boys right now. Okay. We're at 100 gas. Let's get link speed, and let's pull 2 drones off, and we'll pull them down here. The only reason that I would stay on gas... I shouldn't say that. So the only reason I would stay on gas for me personally is because I'm a douche and I bane bust a lot of people. But if we're going to play a macro style, the only exception to staying on gas, and we'd still pull 1 drone off, is if we're going for very early Overlord speed. So once we get our initial 100 gas, we get link speed. If we're going for Overlord speed immediately, we can pull 1 off. And then when we get that second 100 gas, we can pull the second one off. We don't need any more gas than this, my dude. So let's just try and be as mineral efficient as we can. Let's get in the habit of pulling 2 drones off of gas. Our link speed is late. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. So link speed should be started at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. What? Okay. So, in a perfect world, what a Zerg player wants to do in a macro game is once we either 16 hatch or 17 hatch first, we're going to 17 gas, we're going to 17 pool. Then, when the pool is done, we're going to get 2 queens, 2 sets of lings, ling speed. Unless it's ZVZ, because that's the only exception where we never pull off of gas. After which, we're going to pull 2 drones off of gas and get them down to our natural so that we can be as mineral efficient as possible. Then, we want to get a third anywhere between the 2-minute 30 mark and the 3-minute mark. Now, obviously, the closer to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the better. If there's a reason that we have to delay it, it is what it is. But as long as we can get it down by like the 3-minute mark, we're really not being that late. Now, I say that in a perfect world. What have we taken for damage? Nothing. What have we scouted that makes us scared? Nothing. What are we doing? In response, getting a spine and a roach warren. Why? We could have easily taken a third. We have the money. We have 200 gas in the bank, and we still don't have link speed. If we're going even for a roach all-in cheese, you'd still get link speed because your follow-up is never going to be roaches. Unless there isn't a early roach cheese that I'm aware of, and I am a douche Zerg that loves to cheese, that you get layer this early and roach speed. And even then, with roach speed, just the speed of which you'd be able to reinforce your roach cheese with reinforcing roaches coming from your main and your natural to get here in time, it's just not going to happen. They're too slow. So even if we were going to go for a roach cheese and a roach all in, what our follow-up is to reinforce our roaches is speedlings, because they produce very fast and they run across the map really fast. So we can use those speedlings as they keep coming in waves. Even if they keep dying off, we're just protecting our roaches. I have a feeling this is a defensive roach warren, however. It's just, I don't know what we're defending against. So we lost a drone. I mean, oh, we lost 2. We lost 3. Oh, we're not, oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay, this is just a bad situation that goes worse, because we're looking at it the whole time too. Hey, we killed the adept. Awesome. But 4 drones killed. That's a lot. What happened to our spawn? Did we cancel it? Okay, we canceled it. I'm happy we canceled it. So, what time do we want to be scouting the Protoss? That's a really good question, and something that we need to get into our head. After the Cyber Core goes down, from a Protoss's point of view, the first thing they're doing is either one of 2 things. The Cyber Core finishes. If they're going to play Stargate, immediately the Stargate goes down. Then we're getting the Adept. Then we're getting Warp Gate. If it's anything else other than Stargate, as soon as the Cyber Core finishes, we're getting the Adept, we're getting Warp Gate, and then our next 100 gas is going into our tech path. So a really good time that I like to scout Protoss is like the 3 minute to 3 minute 30 second mark, because at that point in time, their tech is either almost done or done, and we get to see what is happening. We have nothing in prepare. We've got a roach warren on the way. So regardless of what we scout or don't scout versus Protoss, the timing we need to get spores, because we need to get spores regardless, is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So if we scout a Stargate, we need to get spores at 3 minutes 30 seconds. If we don't scout a Stargate, we need to get spores at 3 minutes 30 seconds. If we don't scout at all, we need to get spores at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Because it's either going to be a Stargate opener, it's going to be Glaive Adept, which is followed up with DT, or it's going to be Archon Drop, which usually is a DT Archon Drop where they drop the DTs in first to see what they can get done, then they morph them into Archons, then the Archon Drop starts. Spores are just always useful versus Protoss.
Our forces are under attack.
We are at 28 drones. We've lost 4. We have 3 drones in production. We have an inject queued up, and this queen has minimal energy. Awesome. We have an inject queued up, and this queen has minimal energy. We're taking a third. It's late, but you know, it's down. Okay, that's an early layer. We typically want to get the layer down at around the 5 minute mark, and then we want to go for our hive around the 9 minute mark. We're still on gas. We have a lot of gas, but what are we producing? A single roach. From his point of view, what is he doing? Okay, he's got a Stargate with an Oracle. This is an incredibly late Stargate and an incredibly late Oracle. I haven't been watching his point of view, so I don't know if he was supply blocked or if he just started his Stargate late. I have no idea, and it doesn't matter, because I'm not here to criticize him. But this is so late. We should have no problem deflecting this, because at this point in time, we should have like 3 to 4 queens out and a couple more queued up. We have we should have our spores. Like this Oracle is so late that in a normal game, the only thing it can really do, if it even got a drone or 2, that'd be awesome. But realistically, it's just going to come in and either try and attempt a stasis ward or just revelation, which is likely what I would be doing with it. It's just revelation, because it's just too late. Yeah. So we're late on an inject here. We got an inject going on down here, but we've got... well, okay, never mind. The inject just went off. At least we're not getting larva cap. That's a plus. Okay, so we saw the Oracle. This is your point of view. Ba-ba-da-ba! We saw it. Are we going to do anything about it? Such as repositioning this spore, moving the queen over here. Like, if left unchecked, it's a big threat, as we can see. Okay, so it got 6 kills. Like, that's a big, big win for him. And all we did in return was cancel his third and kill a pylon. So we lost 6 workers for a pylon. Let's look at the income graph. Now, let's look at the losses. The losses are pretty even. So what do we have in production? Roach speed and some more drones. We still don't have a queen or a spore here. We're missing a drone up here. I don't know where it's at. Where's our queen? It's over here. And we're missing an inject. And we've got 6 drones and gas. Why do we have this much gas going on? I'm not even sure. We're supply blocked, and we have 9 drones of production. We have no larva available because we don't have the queen to get the inject off, and we missed an inject. We have 1 larva. We need to get overlords like a mofo. These roaches, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I don't know if you blindly went into these roaches expecting it to be some adept harassment and just use them for defense, or if these were built to be aggressive, but we didn't really accomplish much. We canceled his third, but I mean, a couple of lings would have canceled his third if he didn't have any units, which, I mean, he's got 4 stalkers and a void ray. He's got enough to defend it, but I don't understand what the point of these early roaches was. Because if it was for defense, the way we want to beat, if you're worried about the 2 base glaive adept all in, or well, it's not even an all in, but the way we hold that is going up to 41 drones, 3 gases, and just maxing out on roaches until we hold. That's how we beat it. And as soon as we hold it, we immediately go back into drone production, and that is on 3 hatcheries. It's a standard build until we scout that he's going for the glaives, and then we just go up to 41 drones, 3 gases, non-stop roach production until we hold. Okay, we finally have an Evo chamber to do something with our gas. Got Hydralisk Den. The normal timing for a 4th is 6 minutes. I'll give it to you. It's close enough. It's still late, but we don't have a queen here. We don't have a spore here. We're late on an inject. We finally got that one. Okay, let's get some injects going. Our creep spread is now beginning at the 7-minute mark. Now, I'm not the guy to talk to you about creep spread. If I play a macro game, yes, I'll creep spread, but I'm you know, the normal. I'm not Scarlet. I'm not amazing at creep spread because my main style is I play like a douche. I play aggressive, so creep spread is minimal to me. I still can play macro. I still do play macro, but I just naturally tend to be aggressive. In terms of creep spread, let's talk about just bare minimums, what we need, if nothing else, okay? We need to have our bases connected, so this all needs to be creeped. Ideally, we have the ramp and up here creeped, so that way we can shuffle our queens around a lot easier. This is a really good idea to have creeped because we can see easily a warp prism or something flying in. So the first creep tumor I make is usually up here, and then I can creep it here, and then from there I can jump it down here and continue out here. So to recap, we need this creeped, we need this creeped, we need this creeped, and then we need at least enough time to respond properly in front of our bases. So this is not enough, because if we get creep vision, creep actually, like, your vision, we look at you. Okay, well, we've got, this is not a great example because we've got units too far and everything here. But creep actually has a cutoff, okay? So there's a very small edge. So if this is the edge of our creep, this is where, like, this is the edge, this is where we can see. So everything here, we don't have vision of. So it's not helping us. So we at least need to have our creep spread to like here, because if we get vision that an army's coming and they're here, it's still going to be a tight window, but we have the opportunity to respond. And if we're going to play a macro style of Zerg, we need to respond to our opponents, whatever they're doing, while forcing out as many drones as humanly possible. Unless there's an imminent threat, that we have scouted or we've seen moving out or something. The only thing we're making is queens and drones until we're at a comfortable number. So we just need to have it creeped out to at least here, and then for this base, I'd like to have creeped up on the high ground at least, bare minimum, and then like right here. Now, any additional creep is obviously better, but bare minimum, that's what it's gotta be. Okay, so we... Big stasis ward. We don't have a spore here. I think this queen's gonna kill it at least, but and this hydro, yeah, this hydro will pick it off. But you know, we're at the 8-minute mark and we still don't have a spore. We're at 65 drones. Not a bad number. Bare minimum drone count if we're gonna play a macro style is 66. Like that's like at least on like 4 bases at this point. Obviously, if shit has happened, we're being harassed, it can be a different story, but when given the opportunity, like you have been, the bare minimum that we want to be playing with is 66. Ideally, I'd like to see a number somewhere between 70 and 90. The more drones you have, the lower army supply you have, which means we need to be trading out a lot more. But yeah, he's up to 17 drone kills. That's an obnoxious amount. Like, he's done so much damage. Look at the income. We're still somehow ahead in minerals. I guess we're still somehow ahead. That's weird. How many units does he have? He's got 57 points. So we got a spore going down at our 4th and finally our natural. And this is what I was talking about. Like, we just need the bare minimum creep. Let's look at this move out. From our vision, we actually got a very lucky read. When did we get that? So looking at your vision, we see the oracle, we see the stasis, we just respond way too slow. So we killed an overlord. So that's how we got vision. We even look at it. So we know it's there. And our immediate decision is to take a 5th. I don't hate it, but we're not even floating that much money, and we're very close to supply blocked. We have Hydralisks in production, no overlords. This money that we're going to put down on a 5th could instead be turned into units because we have vision and we have knowledge, and we looked at the fact that his army is right here. He's got 3 Void Rays. We got 11 Hydras. We can win this fight, but if I were you, we don't know what's coming. He's got a Warp Prism, so he's going to reinforce this. How many gateways does he have? He's got 6 gateways. Does he have charge? Yeah, he's got charge. So charge lots are going to murder your Hydralisks here, especially because we don't have any discernible upgrades. We got our Evo a long time ago and did nothing with it. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Okay, so we are not using control groups. I see that we have our hatcheries control grouped, and not even all of them. So we've got 4 hatcheries and a 5th on the way, and we've got 3 hatcheries control grouped, which means let's find which one it is. Nah. It's likely this one. No, it's this one. It's absolutely this one, because look at the larva. We got nothing going on. This one just never got control grouped. That's a big oof. Gotta fix that. Army hockeys, I mean, obviously not all of our armies on a hockey, but we're using 0. I don't know if that's rebound or you're just left-handed. I have no clue. But it looks like we're using F2 because we moved all of our entire army over to kill this one oracle. So that means roaches can't shoot up, so they don't need to be going over there. So that means if that oracle comes in and does some harassment, the higher up you get, we're going to start dealing with multi-prong attacks. Okay, so that oracle is going to come in, and whether or not it gets damage, if we can shut it down, if we move our entire army here, very soon you're going to be getting Protosses that are capable of, at the same time using the oracle, sending in some charge lots over here. And we have no roaches, no anything defending over here, because our roaches are chasing an oracle that they can't do anything about.
Mineral field depleted.
So again, we got vision of this, and we're not... What are our units doing? Did we even have them queued up to attack, or... So our units right now are on a Where are they moving to? So we have them on an attack command right here. So we're attacking in the middle of the map because we still... You remembered that we saw the army here. We're fighting off of creep for no reason. Playing specifically a macro style of Zerg, we always have to judge in the early game whether or not it's worth it to take a fight. If we don't have to fight off of creep, let's not fight off of creep. Creep is your friend. It speeds up your units, it allows them to get a concave faster, it allows them to reinforce faster. Creep is your friend. We don't want to fight off of it if we don't have to. The only time that we would be forced into taking a fight off of creep is if our economy is being pressured. At that point, we don't have a choice. We have to do something to protect our drones, so we're forced into that fight. What do we have to accomplish from this? Yes, his army is on your side of the map. Yes, we theoretically could beat it, but look at how spaced out your units are. Even though we're going to win this fight, this is a sloppy fight, and we're going to lose a lot of stuff for nothing, and we're under no pressure. His units here are not doing anything, so I don't like this move. Okay, yeah, no. And then the charge lots come in. We're not focus firing, so our Hydralisks is the only thing that shoot up. So they absolutely need to be focusing on these Void Rays. Our Roaches can just be a move, because they'll attack anything. Now, we're still not focus firing. We're killing Stalkers. What do we have in production here? Okay, you know what? The balls of steel behind you. I'm digging it, because frankly, that was an easy, stupid, but easy fight. We didn't even skip a beat. We were droning behind that. We were confident as could be. I'm digging it. A lot of energy on this queen. Enough energy on this queen. No creep tumors. This one was down for a while now. Hasn't been spread. This queen has an inject and enough energy for a creep tumor right here. Let's see. This one, we've got an inject and not a lot of energy on the queen, which is awesome. This is sweet. We're up to 76 drones. Look at the losses. We're actually doing okay. Hydralisk speed, finally, our single Evo chamber. At 9 minutes, we start our +1. Cool. So we don't have creep, we don't have vision. What are we looking at? I like it. We're floating money, and I'm pretty sure I saw you put down a macro hatch before I rewound it. So we back up. Good call. I'm digging it. We're spreading the creep. We're getting some vision. We're connecting our bases. Nyasum. Nyasum, nyasum. We get a second Evo. We're gonna use it. We're gonna use it! We finally have all of our hatcheries on a hotkey. Deadly. We don't have our tech on a hotkey, though, and I don't like that. We also have our queens grouped in with our army, which I also hate. Queens go on a separate hotkey. Our tech needs to be on a hotkey as well, so that way we can do upgrades and all of that stuff without having to manually click on the buildings. Charge lots come in. We don't have creep here, so we don't have vision of them coming in. We got lucky that he pulled them back because I bet you he's using F2 as well. He is. No army hotkey. We lucked out. F2 saved the day for us. My dude, we're fighting. While I can appreciate, you know, quickly getting injects to keep up our reproduction abilities, we're not at that level where we can multitask that fast. If we're fighting, we need to be watching the fight so that we can manually target the units we need to target. Like, if we got lucky here, okay? Because, like, look, what does he have for splash damage? 2 Archons. That's it. But let's say he had a Disruptor or Storm. We took this fight, and we so confidently went, okay, I'm gonna inject. In that couple seconds, a Disruptor Ball or a Storm could have annihilated your entire army and the game's over. GG, well played, done. Let's not do that. Let's watch the fight. So what are we looking at?
Our forces are under attack.
Lurker Den. Nyasum. Wicked unit against Protoss. Hydra Lurker Viper is a solid composition. Okay, so what happened to our army? Let's back up, because we weren't looking at all. We saw from your vision. We were looking at our main the entire time. What actually happened? No focus fire whatsoever from the Hydralisks. And we get cleaned up. Now let's look at the losses. Starting to get one-sided here. Let's look at the income. We're still ahead because we still have a lot of workers. But let's look at our vision, okay? We don't know anything because it has been a long time. At the 4 or 5 minute mark, whatever it was, your roaches went over and canceled his third. And we haven't follow-up scouted since. All we know is that he's got a natural, 2 gates, and a cyber core. Like, that's it. When in reality, he's got 4 bases. He's got a Stargate. He's got a Forge with +2 on the way. He's got a Twilight. Look at all these gateways. Robo, like, and look at all of these gateways. Got Storm almost done. We have no idea about any of this. Back on your camera. All of our overlords are clumped. Oh, this Archon could have a field day. We could be supply blocked back to the Stone Age. And he sees it. He's going for it. Oh, he's popping those overlords like they're pimples. What do we have for units? We've got 8 Hydralisks. We've got 20 Lings in production and 5 Roaches. Stalkers beat Roaches. He doesn't have Blink, but Stalkers beat Roaches, especially in this number. We lost our entire army, and now everything that we have, even though we have money to reproduce a lot, we're not only supply blocked, they're just going to trickle in one by one. We don't have... We need a ball to attack this, and we're not going to get it again. And this game is over from here. We're just going to take too much loss. Let's see what happens for the next 5 minutes. Yeah, like, it was already over, my dude. Like, we've lost so much. I'm not even going to worry about the last 4 minutes. Honestly, we lost it there. And... let me just illustrate my point one more time. We already know that this army got slaughtered. But we're going to look at it from your point of view, and this is the moment you lost the game. Okay? Your camera, your view.
Our forces are under attack.
By the time we looked back, everything was dead. We didn't look at that fight for a second. And we also chose to engage that fight, then elected to look away before our upgrades were done. That's what it came down to. So I think we need to get a stronger grip on our macro. Our drone count was super low for how much freedom we were given. I think we need to get a better grip on the Zerg versus Protoss matchup and what he can throw at you and the timings, because this Oracle was super late and it still got way too much damage done. I think we need to really work on our defenses and just try and figuring out a build order, because if we're going to play macro style, Zerg players need to be playing fast. We need to get a lot of stuff done in a very short amount of time, and it can be frustrating in the beginning. It's difficult. But I assure you, the other races also have a ton of difficult things that they need to accomplish as well. We just need to tighten everything up. And most importantly, we need to look at our units when we're fighting. Hope this helps. Good luck, have fun, don't get frustrated. Everything I said it with love. I only want to see you get better, I promise you. Take care, my man.